All right. Yeah, we're gonna start the day off with this because I've become like increasingly, I guess, weirded out by this. We've now turned to, because the game is so uninteresting, we've now turned to covering when people get fired or leave the company. So it's just gotten super weird. This is 3.19.1 layoffs at CIG, LinkedIn posting from Cameral. What?
Hello, everyone. I want to make this perfectly clear. This is not a sensational video, and this might just be normal firing and hiring, but I find it interesting enough to make a short video about this. Don't panic. This is just an informational video. On the Pipeline channel on Discord, we can find this very interesting posting. Now, I don't know if...
3.19.1 layoffs at CIG, but it's not sensational.
This is really a dev, but to me it makes absolutely sense.
I'm immediately discrediting like everything in the video when the first thing that's being posted is from the Pipeline Discord and from Hater.
In case you're wondering how the PU team is doing, it's been reduced so much that we have single-digit teams of single developer disciplines doing the work of, well, at this point the entirety of a level design team. For one example, shit's going to a standstill outside of maintenance to heavily prioritize Squadron 42.
Guys, big leak news. They're working on Squadron 42 instead of the PU. Big leaks. In case you didn't know, all the big news is being shared over on the Discord over there.
Someone messaged me and showed me this. This is on LinkedIn.
Hi everyone. I was recently affected by the layoffs that are transpiring at the moment. I want to thank Cloud Imperium Games for the opportunity to work on Star Citizen. It was a privilege and an honor, and I wouldn't have traded it back for anything in the world, and I wish I could continue to be in the trenches and work on the project. I will miss everyone on the teams. I will always believe in you.
Okay, listen. The layoffs, which turns out to be one person or a couple of people who were let go and not laid off. Maybe LinkedIn being a social media platform where people will, when looking for other jobs, you will see, hashtag open to work, probably wants to say I was laid off instead of I was fired or whatever, right? Whatever the circumstance is, doesn't matter. But I've asked around. I think a lot of other people have asked around, and this, at least the thing being said, is that it's an isolated incident and not mass layoffs or anything. But I think the reason, if we're looking around at everything that's going on, the reason this is people have left the company multiple times. It's come up in conversation multiple times throughout the years. But I think the reason that it's starting to take off more this year than ever is because of all the bad decisions that CIG's made on the marketing side, and what they've been advertising to us, what they've been selling to us, and the absolute predatory nature of needing to make as much money as possible this year because of all the bad financial decisions they may have made, like the huge studio in the UK, or literally buying companies and using them to make the game, things like that, right? So all the bad choices that they're making, and then seeing this, I think it gives it, I think a normal thing that happens, it gives us all this weight that doesn't exactly exist.
Being said, I am looking for a new role and would appreciate your support. Thank you in advance for any connections, advice, or opportunities you can offer.
Yeah,
what I find very interesting is he's talking about layoffs.
Yeah. What I find interesting is he's talking about the layoffs. What I find interesting is he's trying not to look bad on a social media website where you're trying to get hired.
Plural. So are there more jobs lost at CIG? And comments of people who are still working for CIG, Dash Wilkinson, what the what, you too. So are there more layoffs at CIG? motion capture specialist, QA analyst, 3D animation, or
doesn't work at Star Citizen. So this person, I believe, came out and confirmed doesn't work at CIG. Am I correct on that? I'm like a day late on this video.
We have Christopher Kearns, live
one
QA
of these people
specialist at Cloud.
That post got clarified. Yeah. One of those people, the one that said, "Oh, you too." He was or she was. I didn't see. I just know that it was a post by. It was either the first person or the second person said they don't work at CIG and they were let go from like somewhere else. The next step of all this stuff, which is the headlines around Star Citizen continue and money continues to swirl. Hot off the heels of yesterday's report about the game's new crowdfunding total and layoffs within the company, a former CIG developer has come forward with his take on the studio's financial situation and management. I would love to see if Massively OP corrected whatever they said here. Let's see. Well, friends have read it. They haven't made any corrections, it looks like. Unless there's some mention of the layoffs, I don't believe. But anyway, there's an employee affirms that the game is to keep generating additional cash or it suffers. People who buy any items at all are propping up the project and all this stuff. It was a little crazy. Where can we see the post? Has come forward with his take. So this is the take on Reddit. And we'll check this out. So prior CIG employee releases something and it has to change. For all levels of Star Citizen fans, I thought I would get this out there as both a backer, then a CIG, and then an employee of CIG, then a backer. Okay? I was employed with CIG for over 7 years. Prior to my employment, I was a backer for 2 years, and it was my dream job to be able to make this dream project come true. Unfortunately, that came to a fold this year. I want to make this abundantly clear. In my opinion is what I'm giving, not fact. I'm expressing this as an educated person on both sides of the fence. Twice. Backer, employee, backer. Okay, yeah, we get it. And I believe in my experience, it's worthwhile posting. Okay. I have always and will always hold fond memory of CIG in my heart. Everyone is so welcoming, and I have made some fantastic friends, and they've treated me well through my entire employment. Whether it was an HR assistance or COVID goodie bags to get you through the gloom, they put out the stops, and I will always admire them for that. Sorry, I lost my place. When I walked through the office at Wilmslow way back when we were a ragtag team ready to shape the world, we did, up to a point. Where the problem arises is through the project itself. We work tirelessly to deliver on every front. Support, sales, marketing, trailers, marketing art, QA, office ops, player experience, and the lot. The one part that affected the project the most, it seems, was the game itself. Don't get me wrong. The devs at CIG are very talented. I see comments like it must be a stain against you to work at CIG. Those commenters are forgetting the revolutionary tech that has been created along the way, and they should be applauded for that. They're making tools and systems that will be used for games seen for generations to come. So please put respect for them that they deserve. Also, I do not only do I see negative comments about individuals within CIG, but I've also personally been doxxed by a certain man, DS called DS himself. Oh, hey, me too. Welcome to the club. Apparently, I was meeting with people in car parks to share project secrets and should be waterboarded. His words. All right, this is crazy. On to business. I was a veteran of the project with over 7 years of experience in multiple departments, having been instrumental in setting up some of them and having unique knowledge of systems within Europe. I moved my home closer to work. My fantastic wife enabled me to move closer to work, and she got a different job so I could progress. Through a few meetings, I was dismissed. Not for poor performance. I didn't buy it. and I had a colleague of mine attend my last meeting to make sure I wasn't missing something. Surely they wouldn't get rid of someone who was a high-performing asset, who would have been useful to any team within CIG, who could have helped steer the ship, essentially. I want to reiterate, everything is my opinion and not indicative of CIG, the reputation, spending, project trajectory, employees, etc. In my opinion, they have incorrectly calculated their trajectory and player spending through 2023 and beyond. I believe that after so many years of the project not delivering, it's time to start grasping at the small straws at least. I believe the fact that I do not want to play the game because of the progress resets, the features are not complete, the guides are atrocious, and in general, the future is unclear. For anyone at any level, shows CIG really needs to change their stance on what they do, how they do it, and how they communicate it. Based, right? That is absolutely true. That's how I've been feeling the whole time. I agree with his opinion, right? The part that is interesting, I would say, is here is, everybody holds themselves at such a high level, and okay, but if there's always two sides to every story. This person's holding themselves incredibly high, and clearly somebody at the company did not, and I'm sure the truth is somewhere in the middle. In my opinion, they've overinvested in the Manchester office they've just built. They're more bothered about the wall art than they are about investing in additional staff. I personally saw a hiring freeze while spending money on making the office look like a piece of space art. Okay, well, these are no longer opinions. These are like some weird NDA breaking things, most likely. It's fantastic to walk into, but as soon as I found out I was being laid off, I looked at everything differently. Put some art. Some of the art was the same as my salary or multiple people's salary. Looking up the cost of office furniture, not equipment, you could pay someone with 2 office fitments. 2. There are a large number of offices, and when I heard the hiring freeze kicked in and they were having layoffs, I had to speak my mind. Is there really a hiring freeze? I'm pretty sure the company's still hiring. I don't think there's a hiring freeze. I talked about this the moment they talked about the Manchester office. They're spending so much money. It's insane. Like, I don't know what else to say. The way that the office, they wanted to make it look just seemed ridiculous to me. Like, comfort is one thing, and, making it look like a spaceship is insane, right? The future for this project, they have to keep generating additional cash or it suffers. If you do not spend more money, there, of course, may be repercussions. I can't offer my exact recommendation because my good friends lose their jobs. And they are fantastic at their jobs and don't deserve it at all. That being said, in my opinion, everyone who's buying any and all items offered is propping up the project. I was there during the Cutlass deal pricing. I suggested a ceiling to figure of the ship based on its capabilities in comparison to the other Cutlass ships and its competitors. The Cutlass Black is notoriously undervalued, but still, despite my recommendation, the price got hiked because surely people will buy it. It's a Cutlass. Dude, this has to be true because there's no way you come to the Cutlass steel and do anything that they did without having this dumbass opinion. Right? I believe this 100%. This is a perfect example of what happens when people vote with their wallets. It makes them realize that it was a bad decision and that they should learn going forward. I think it's the key going forward for the entire project. I think the team can deliver key gameplay improvements going forward and encourage players to play and return rather than trying to drip feed concepts to people who may never fly them. I'm looking at you, BMM. Bro, if this dude actually worked there, I think he would understand the BMM situation. I think that they explained that one really clearly, and I think everyone just really likes that ship and wants it to be a thing and refuses to look at what actually happened. Like, Paul Jones leaves, and it really looks like he took the people with him. That's what it looks like. So the people who were working on the Banu Merchantman looked like they left. Yes, I know it was verified, okay? But to not recognize the Banu Merchantman situation, like that one is like the only bad situation to me that is like normal. So this person's not a developer? Okay. Then why are they holding themselves to such a high standard like they literally built the company? What was his position? Despite every conversation I had, despite every advantage I had for myself in the company, I was laid off, and I am so thankful I was. Now I have more time with my family, which is the most important thing to me. Now I work for a company where every contribution I make is heard, and more importantly, it makes an impact on the company itself. I would never have left CIG if I wasn't pushed. I worked damn fucking hard at it, and I'm proud of my work that has led to multiple successful teams. I wish them the absolute best of luck, but I hope that the people who genuinely want the project to succeed speak their minds, vote with their wallets, criticize when it's appropriate, and champion where the milestones are reached. I mean, we're not allowed to do that in this community, because when we have opinions, it's never good, I guess, right? I've been struggling with that for years. Wanted to add some clarity, as this seems to blow up farther than I anticipated. Please. Everything here is my opinion, okay? This post isn't to stir drama, sure. I loved my entirety of time working at CIG. Doesn't sound like it. There may or may not be a run of layoffs at CIG. As a person far removed from the project now, I have zero idea. But the post I saw on LinkedIn suggests as much. This made me upset. It's not. I've had plenty of people reach out to me both internally and externally, but on this point, I will not be commenting. I do not want to stir up drama. End point, be kind to each other. Okay, cool. So this was Ray Rucroft. I don't know what's happening here. Good old Twitter being terrible. But I remember Ray. They probably deleted their Twitter post. Okay, gotcha. I remember Ray. They weren't a dev, as far as I'm aware. It was super weird. They like made content / were like posting on Twitter all the time, but I don't know what they did. I mean, everybody's a dev technically, but I don't think they were, on game design or level design or anything like that, is what I mean. You just wrote it. His role is I created the team that supported all of our backers from 2016 through 2020 and then moved on to a team that dictated our packages for sale and pricing. I don't want to divulge more, but for those who have the know, only one person did this. Gotcha. Whatever that means. But yeah, I remember seeing Ray Rucroft's tweets all the time. Cool. I think a lot of the things there seem, entirely true. I think, obviously, there's some negative sentiment there as well. And the truth is somewhere in the middle, would be my guess. But I don't think we are in panic mode yet. But if you start putting all the pieces together, you start looking like Charlie from Always Sunny with all the red dots going everywhere. I'm not sure if we're there yet, but given how actively focused they are on making money and all these things coming out, it certainly is looking bad. I know guys in my Discord are actively trying to figure out how much they could have potentially spent at the CitizenCon venue and why the prices are what they are, and maybe they're trying to recoup that stupid move. We'll have to see. But other than that, I don't think this is like crazy yet, but it might, start getting there, right? The writing is on the wall for it to happen if it's going to. This is where it starts. That's kind of where my head is.